Ladies and gentlemen, would you please upstanding for the Australian National Anthem, the sung unaccompanied by Mr. Brian Young. Please be upstanding.
Thank you, man.
Australians born us rejoice, for we are young and free. Where golden soil and wealth for toil, this home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and so rare. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia.
On behalf of Ultimate Kickboxing, John Sheena, Paul Dematoli, welcome you to Center Ring for our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime! And let's get ready to rumble! 8 rounds of action for the Commonwealth Super Welterweight Championship. Calling the shots, Michael Darrell Eastlake Chavello, Mark the Hammer Castanini. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are on my left, occupying the blue corner, he is part of the Master Dana, the Trainer Goodson, 71 strong championship Fitzroy Star Gymnasium. He is 26 years of age. He brings in a centering a record of 20 bouts, 17 wins, 3 losses. And Leonard Big Wings coming by way of knockout. He is the East Coast Welterweight Champion. He is the Victorian Super Welterweight Champion. The Australian Super Lightweight Champion. And the Commonwealth Muay Thai Welterweight Champion. Would you welcome wearing black trunks with Muay Thai gold and red, the Terror, Tetoros! And ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the red corner. He trains at the Sunshine Police Youth Gymnasium. Gordon Wilson, Tony Marichel, assisting John Sheeta. He brings in the ring the South Pacific Welterweight Championship, the Victorian and Australian Super Welterweight Championship. It's getting 69 kilograms from St Albans, 22 years of age, wearing red with green and the shark. Would you welcome the great white shark, Jake
There is this. If there's a lockdown on the go, the court is usual. This is why I say that a bit there.
Into the line, he is calling the bell. For all the 8 rounds, she's letting in action. Round 1.
Well, the time for talk is over. Our Commonwealth clash between the Terror and Nick Tetoros out of the blue corner and the Great White Shark, Cenk Bayik, out of the red corner. Michael Chavello here, along with Australian Cruiserweight Muay Thai champion Mark the Hammer Castanini, calling all the shots at ringside. Incredible anticipation here amongst the crowd at the St Albans Indoor Sports Complex. A capacity crowd here to see this one. Perhaps the most even super welterweight contest we've seen for a long time.
Well, Nick Tetoros certainly looking focused and on his game tonight, Michael. From what I've seen, he's caught some kicks high and traded some kicks high himself. And he'll need to be right on his money to match it with the like of Cenk Bayik, who is certainly one of the best fighters of '97.
Well, Tetoros has come out very strong indeed. He is very efficient in the hands department, in particular Nick Tetoros. Cenk Bayik, of course, one of the more spectacular fighters. That spinning hook kick took the words right out of my mouth. I said he's spectacular, and Cenk Bayik can pull a rabbit out of the hat like that at any time. There's an axe kick for you.
And that's why the crowd love him, Michael, because he'll take the risk and he'll throw the stuff that people pay money to see.
That's why they call him the Playboy, the leader of Australian kickboxing's next generation, the Great White Shark, Cenk Bayik. But he'll have his work cut out for him tonight against the Terror, Nick Tetoros. Tetoros has been around for so long. Talking to him in the weeks leading up to the fight, he said that he was going to take Cenk Bayik to school tonight and teach him a lesson.
Certainly, Nick and his brother Jim Tetoros have been leaders in the kickboxing in Victoria and indeed Australia for several years now. These guys have certainly established themselves over the time, and tonight it's the old generation somewhat taking on the new generation. It'll be interesting to see how these two warriors take to each other in the ring here tonight.
Sunday, October 5, before Talix Solid Show. That will be 2 o'clock at the Columbia Coliseum, Park Street, West Brunswick. Round 2.
Referee Dave Hedgecock gets us underway in the second round of action for the Commonwealth Super Welterweight crown. The Great White Shark, Cenk Bayik, and the Terror, Nick Tetoros. Tetoros just moving in with a right hook, followed by a leg kick. Trying to plant that right round kick to the ribs of the Great White Shark. Lines up a couple of high right round kicks to the head, but Tetoros was well guarded up against them.
just in these 2 rounds, or this 1.5 round, Tetoros has caught at least half a dozen kicks on the gloves on his left-hand side. Those big right roundhouse kicks coming out from Chink Tetoros have been caught with a double hand block there by Nick, and that means to say that Dana and all the boys at Fitzroy Stars have been doing their homework with Nick Tetoros. The likes of sparring Chris Allen, Evan Pascalides has certainly paid off. He's putting it together well, Nick, to date, and nullifying a lot of Chink's more flashy techniques. I think Chink's going to have to go to work, burrow in, and put in a more tradesman-like effort rather than his usual showy self. He's going to really have to burrow in and push Nick and try and work the power rather than the more spectacular techniques that he is renowned for.
Comments from the Australian Cruiserweight Muay Thai champion Mark the Hammer Castanini. Of course, the main concern about Tetoros coming into this fight was perhaps ring rust. We haven't seen him since last September when he went the distance with Thai legend Runicon on an Ultimate Promotions card. Baik slamming 2 successive kicks, catches him there with the left hand. Tetoros goes down. Pandemonium has erupted again here in St Albans. He caught him that time, Mark the Hammer, with the left hand.
He certainly did, Michael. That is where Nick has been taken down. He's been clipped on the chin. He's going to have to keep his guard up and not get careless when he gets into those flurries with the hands, because Chink Bahik's timing is certainly one of his strong points. As we've just seen, he caught Nick sweetly, and that was well timed and perfectly executed there by Chink Bahik, and his crowd, his home crowd, is certainly getting right behind him and loving it.
We're underway in the 3rd round of action. The Great White Shark, Chink Bahik, ended the 2nd round with a knockdown. Can the Terra Nick Tetoros come back from it and deliver a good 3rd round?
Nick Tetoros, the original southpaw slugger, going to work now, so is Chink in the corner there.
That's a furious flurry over the neutral corner. Chink Bahik lets loose with a spinning back kick. Didn't quite find the mark. The crowd going crackers again here at the St Albans Indoor Sports Centre. This matchup is everything we anticipated it would be and more. Ultimate Promotions, Johnny Sheeder, Paul DeMacaulay have done it again. And 3rd man, the legend Dave Hedgecock there to make sure it's all kept nice and clean. Chink just checks the low kick. Tetoros goes with a body rip. Nice front kick there off the left leg by Tetoros. Tetoros trying to move in, work those killer hands of his. Hands of steel, Nick Tetoros. Chink almost connecting that time. Fires that axe kick, just not enough muster behind it though, Mark.
He's got to be careful, Chink, throwing those axe kicks. If he's going to drop them, he's got to drop them with a lot more power. There's no use putting on the display here. This is business, fighting someone like Nick Tetoros. You don't want to give him the advantage by putting your leg up in the air and putting a display on for people. He's got to burrow in and just go for the hard line techniques. That's what's going to get him through here. The flashy stuff is not what is going to pay off for him.
Mark, does Chink want to trade hands with Nick Tetoros, or does he want to use his legs more to rake up the points?
Well, so far he's showing that he can trade hands with him. Of course, he got the count on him, and that means that he's equipped to do that, and that's exactly what he should be doing, going for the hard line stuff, just burrowing in and seeing who will come out on top. But Nick Tetoros certainly knows he's in a war, and Chink Bahik certainly, what a graduation, what an initiation into the pro ranks this will be for him if he can pull this one out.
Let's get it on in the 4th round of action. The Great White Shark and the Terror Nick Tetoros. The Shark opening up with a high right round kick to the head of the Terror. Another one looking to take the Terror's head off. Oh, connects there nicely with the left-handed Chink.
Tetoros' guard is a little low. He's going to have to hold his guard a little higher, because one of those left hooks will certainly catch him if that lead hand of his drops too low. when they get in and engage in those close quarter combinations.
As Mark said earlier on, a merging of the two generations, the old guard, Nick Tetoros, against the leader of the new generation, Cenk Bayik. Tetoros just working that probing left hand, goes downstairs, thumping the leg kick to the outside right thigh. They're going blow for blow, toe to toe in centre ring at the moment. Plenty of instruction being yelled to Nick Tetoros by trainer of champions Dana Goodson.
Certainly both fighters opting for throwing the hooking or looping punches, and I think the order of the day would have to be something straight off the chin, right through the guard of the opposing fighter, as Cenk sneaks in a little right hand hook there.
Well, of course it was the straight left that caught Tetoros earlier on in the fight. Oh, slapping leg kick, you could hear that one reverberate across the St Albans Indoor Sports Complex. Tetoros just dancing around the ring, waiting for an opening. He said this one won't go the distance. Pre-fight comments, he said he put the lights out on the Shark. But I tell you what, it'll take a lot to put the lights out on the great white. Cenk Bayik lines up for the spinning hook kick, decided against at the end of the fourth round of action. Mark the Hammer, how did you see that one?
Well, the fight's now starting to get into a much more even pace rather than the flurries up and down. It's starting to even out here, and both boys digging in, and it's just going to be a survival of the fittest. It's still fairly close. I think Cenk's work rate is fairly good and fairly high, but Nick is trying to place his shots a lot more carefully. He doesn't want to expend a lot of energy. He knows he's got to do the 8 rounds, and he doesn't want to burn out too early. Plus, I think he'd still be guarding himself quite closely because of that count he took earlier. He doesn't want to be doing anything silly.
Let's rumble in the 5th round of action. This for the super welterweight Commonwealth title. Bayik just launching that high right round kick to the head. Sweat flying off the brows of both fighters. Tetoros just looking for that big left hand put away. That's seen him put the lights out on a number of opponents in the past. He's gone up against the big names, amongst them world champions Tibet Hamza and Marcus Mangan.
Tetoros is ready always to catch that right roundhouse kick of Cenk. I feel he's got to set it up a little, disguise it maybe, if he's to effectively throw that roundhouse kick to the head of Nick Tetoros, because Nick Tetoros has certainly switched on to it, and Cenk will have to maybe set it up with a front kick or something before he throws it, rather than just throwing it on his own.
Bayik, a small flurry from him over in the blue corner, connects with a late blow there off the left hand, and a stern warning from the Rock Dave Hedgecock for that late blow. Tetoros just trying to line him up with those fists. Whips up the high right round kick to the head. And there's one off the left for good measure as well. Well done by the Terror. Cenk finds the mark with the right hand. Tetoros backs them against the ropes. Moves in, a body rip off the right hand from Tetoros. Staying mobile, just flicks up the nice high right round kick, then goes downstairs to the legs.
Tetoros using a lot of lateral movement as he takes a bit of a trip down. Cenk takes out his supporting leg as he kicked there, but Tetoros certainly using great ring savvy, moving around, not getting bailed up in any corners or letting Cenk get too much on the focus. That's what you have to watch out for when you have a high kicker. You don't want him to get a plant on you or get a fix on you, because as soon as Nick gets flat-footed and stands there, you can bet that Bayik will certainly unload with one of those powerful kicks of his, and that is the danger zone that he doesn't want to be in.
We're into the 6th round of action. Bayik opens it up with an inside leg kick. round kick to the head by the great white shark, Cenk Behik. It took the starch right out of Nick Tetoros. Tetoros just trying to slug him with the hands, connects down with a beautiful straight left hand. Cenk goes down and receives his first count of the fight.
As Behik gets a count, the crowd is not happy about it. It's going to cost him the round, no doubt, unless he can get it back.
Well, it was a similar punch to what Behik caught Tetoros on earlier in the fight.
They're a count each as we move through this fight. Both fighters are a count each, so it's going to come down to pure technique now.
It'll come down to technique. It'll come down to the excellence of execution of these two men. Both are superb technicians.
Or indeed will someone be able to land another one flush. The big evener has just happened as Cenk Behik has caught a count himself. Here he goes to work in the corner now.
They're trading body blows and high kicks, a spinning hook kick there by Cenk Behik, came close but no cigar. They're letting it all fly and pulling out all the stops over in the red corner.
It'll only take for one of those spinning hook kicks to land, and it certainly will take its toll on the Tetoros. But so far Cenk's had not a lot of luck. He's going to want to stop ducking his head.
Cenk just whipping up that high right round kick. Tetoros going downstairs, barrels in with the left hand, tries to line him up with a big thumping left.
Tetoros just measuring off. He had the big left hand there poised and loaded. Just was all he was looking for was the opening, but it never came.
End of the 6th round, Mark the Hammer. That was the evener you said earlier.
Well, that was the evener. This one is certainly shaping up into the great fight that it has been built to be. Pound for pound, the best two welterweights in the country. Well, certainly they're showing that, every bit of that here tonight, and it has been a crackerjack fight. Certainly no one will walk away disappointed.
Let's roll with the 7th round of action. The great white shark against the terror. What a fantastic fight we've seen so far. The crowd on the edge of their seats. A slamming inside leg kick by the terror, Nick Tetoros. Cenk trying to come over the top with his hands. This has been Behik's toughest test of his career so far. Connects there with the right hand. Tetoros connects on the way down with the right round kick.
Behik just stating that Tetoros let a kick go when he was down on one knee.
Behik just trying to line him up with that high right round kick.
He's putting everything into it here, Cenk Behik, and it's causing him to lose his footing a little. It's all on the line, and he's throwing everything at Nick Tetoros.
Big clubbing right hand by Behik. Didn't quite find the mark. Tetoros just peppers away with his lead hand and then fires the big left hand. Planted him like a tree with that one.
Straight left, right up the middle. It's what we called earlier, Michael. Those straight hands will come through the guard. And unfortunately for Cenk, that one will get him another 8 count as Tetoros goes to work on the body and comes upstairs to the head.
That's 2 knockdowns in successive rounds for the great white shark, Cenk Behik. The tide may have turned. Could it be the beginning of the end? Tetoros storming home nicely at the moment.
Cenk doesn't want to get bailed up on those ropes because that is the comfort zone for Nick Tetoros. He'll just bail him up and the ropes are in the corner. He'll go to work, body and head.
He caught him again with that straight left hand, Mark. Tetoros now going to work against the ropes with those uppercuts. There's the end of the 7th round of action, another round there for the terror.
Well, that was certainly Nick the Terror's round, but Cenk Behik must have a jaw made of cast iron because he's certainly taken some good shots to the body and to the face area, and he's still there for the duration of this fight. But Nick Tetoros is certainly switching it on now as we get into the later rounds of this fight. He's certainly finding his feet, so to speak, and his hands, and working everything in well, using the ring, sucking the air up, not letting himself get too tired, and then when it gets onto the ropes, well, that's his comfort zone, and Nick Tetoros is just going to work on Cenk Bayik in that area.
All the talk, all the training, and the waiting has all come down to this, the 8th and final round of action for the Commonwealth title. Cenk Bayik needs a knockdown in this round to even it up. Barrels into the body of Tetoros, but that midsection of Tetoros is rock solid.
An elated Fitzroy Stars and blue corner. They can sense a victory here, but it's not over until the final bell. We've seen some huge turnarounds on previous Ultimate promotion shows. This could or could not be another one.
Just popping away with the left hand, the terror Nick Tetoros. Cenk says, come on, it takes more than that to put me down. But Tetoros says, if you want more punishment, boy, I've got it to give to you.
It's certainly not what Cenk wants to be doing, because all he's going to be doing is letting Tetoros get more and more points on him. He's going to be in there working. We all know he's a tough customer, Cenk Bayik, and he doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He's just got to get in there and try for that win.
A nice high left round kick before the last one found the mark by the terror Nick Tetoros. Cenk Bayik, the excellence of execution, needs to pull something out in this final round of action. Fires with a nice right hand, just not enough mustard behind it.
Well, maybe it's the fact that Nick Tetoros is a southpaw has thrown Cenk Bayik's timing out a little here tonight. And an excellent hook there, lead hook coming off from Cenk Bayik.
Cenk bringing home the bacon in the final straight of this round. The crowd have gone absolutely bananas here at St Albans. Can the Great White Shark connect with one of those left hooks? Can he put the lights out on the terror Nick Tetoros? Tetoros is bringing it home. That's the end of the 8th and final round of action. That's the end of the Commonwealth clash. This one, Mark the Hammer, has gone down to the judges yet again.
Well, it's gone down to the judges. The 8 counts, it would seem, would determine the result. But who knows? Who knows indeed how the judges will score it on their own individual cards. Whatever way you look at it, it's been a great fight. And these two boys certainly deserve a standing ovation. And I certainly will be a fight to remember for a long, long time. They both deserve full credit for an excellent effort, one of the best fights that has been seen in this country for a long time now.
Mark the Hammer, as we said earlier on, emerging into the generations, the old generation, the old lion, Nick Tetoros, against the young tiger, Cenk Bayik.
Well, two very different fight styles. A much more nuggety fight style of Nick Tetoros versus the much more flashy and fluent style of Cenk Bayik. In the end, the judges will distinguish the difference in styles and result. But as I've said, hats off to both these guys. Excellent fighters, excellent show of courage and display of technique from both men.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Dennis said, it's the fight of the year. After 8 rounds of kickboxing, we have a new Commonwealth Super Welterweight Champion. Who's congratulated by unanimous points, the Terror, Nick Tetoros! New Commonwealth Champion.
Well, there you have it, Mark. A unanimous decision going the way of the terror Nick Tetoros. The old lion overcoming the young tiger. What a fantastic finale for Nick Tetoros.
Well, what an absolute battle. And if you're watching this at home, you've just seen one of the greatest kickboxing fights that we've seen in a long time, and a well-deserving winner. It was always going to be close, but in the end, Nick Tetoros just getting over the line, and to use a horse racing term, just taking it by a nose. And commiserations to Cenk Behik, but he'll be back, and he's certainly, as I said, one of the most exciting prospects and one of the busiest and best fighters of '97.
To tell you the truth, I can't remember what meant. I'd just like to thank the crowd. Thank you everyone, thanks for coming and supporting me. I'd like to thank everyone for supporting kickboxing. I want to thank my trainers, my family, all behind me. Nick, thanks for the support of my life, thanks for that. I needed that, taught me a lesson. Hopefully I can go back to the gym. Where's the camera? I can't see the camera there. Yeah, hopefully I'll get back to the gym and taught me a big lesson. And then let's come back stronger and maybe next time I do you proud. Thanks a lot.
The white black shot, Cenk Behik. Nick, another Commonwealth Championship was as hard when you beat JJ with the Muay Thai.
This is one of the toughest, but you better give it that. Coming here and fighting with the youngster, not much younger than me, but but with his experience and stuff, he gave me a tough fighter. I like to think and give him all the best in the future. I put a lot of work into this, so I just want to mention a few people that helped me along the way. As far as I like to think, my business partner, built them the top of us, giving me time off work, the champ, and a special thanks to Arthur, my lovers. Also, my manager, I want to dedicate this fight to, who couldn't be here today. But that's Nick Matthews. I'd like to dedicate this one to him. And thank Pat for putting this show together and supporting the scarring. Also, I'd like to thank people that helped me in the gym, like Nick Tetoros from Holland, Future Stars. We put it all together. I'd like to thank Michael Wilson, my naturopath, for getting me spiritually, mentally, physically ready. Also, if I've forgotten anyone, I'm very sorry, but everybody, I'd like to see us all the after party. I'll be happy to see us all there. And also, my sponsors, my sponsors, for years helped me along, and also AST, research, and thank you very much everyone.
Well, there you have it, Mark the Hammer Castanini, the end of a fantastic night of action brought to us by Ultimate Promotions. What a fantastic main event. The Great White Shark, Cenk Behik, the Terror, Nick Tetoros, 8 rounds of hardcore action, and in the end, the unanimous decision going the way of the Terror, Nick Tetoros.
Well, as Dana stated, Nick Tetoros' trainer, Cenk Behik didn't lose a fight tonight. He certainly learnt a lot from it, and you can expect to see him improve out of sight. He's already had a great year, '97, and you can bet that he's only going to get better from here. It was a great fight, one that will be long remembered, and I certainly enjoyed it. It'll be something that I will long remember as one of the great fights that these two guys have put on in a long time.
There you have it, folks. The Great White Shark, Cenk Behik, going down on a unanimous decision, but not a loser, a learner, as Dana Goodson said, against the Terror, Nick Tetoros, for the ISKA Commonwealth Super Welterweight title. From myself, Michael Chavello, and my verbal sparring partner, Mark the Hammer Castanini, thank you for joining us ringside, and we look forward to the pleasure of your company again next time on our next Ultimate Promotions. Good night.
Good night.